Houston versus Chicago. Houston is in Texas and Chicago is in the state of Illinois, and in this video I compare both of the two cities by comparing 5 things that is important in knowing before moving to either of these two cities. So we have 5 rounds. These 5 things we compare are work, weather, housing, tax and lifestyle. These things are important to people when comparing these two cities, and you will need to know them before moving. Before we get to the battle, let me give you some information of both of the two cities. Houston is in Texas. It has over 2.3 million people. It is the most populous Texan city and the most populous southern city. Houston is located in the southeast of Texas, as you can see now. Houston is known as a space city because it is home to NASA Manned Spacecraft Center. It is also home to the largest medical center in the world. Chicago is in Illinois and has over 2.7 million people and is the most populous city in Illinois and the 3rd most populous city in the United States of America, and it is the most populous city in the Midwest. And the city was founded in 1837. It's located in the northeast of Illinois. Chicago is known for its international hub for finance, culture, commerce, industry, education, technology, telecommunications, and transportation. That was a mouthful. The Chicago area has one of the highest gross domestic products in the world, generating over $700 billion every year. And now let's begin. Round 1. Work. Houston is booming. Work is everywhere, but the locals don't want outsiders to come in and take their work. But don't worry, just go in and take it. Houston is the most diverse metropolitan area in Texas and has been described as the most racially and ethnically diverse major metropolis in the USA. Houston has the 2nd most Fortune 500 headquarters of any US municipality within its city limits after New York City. Houston has become a global city with strength in culture, medicine, and research. While on the other hand, Chicago has one of the world's most diversified and balanced economies with no single industry employing more than 14% of the workforce. Chicago is home to several Fortune 500 companies. However, no one's coming to Houston to get famous or be part of a scene. Everyone comes to work and raise their families. Houston retains a blue-collar city and there are plenty of jobs, but Chicago is the baby version of New York and there is serious money to be made. Therefore, Chicago wins round 1. Round 2. Weather. Chicago is known as the windy city, but in reality it is classified as having a hot, humid continental climate. Summers are hot and humid with frequent heat waves. Temperatures can reach anywhere between 32 to 38 degrees. Winters are cold and snowy. Although the city typically sees less snow and rain in winter, there are many sunny, cold days in winter. The normal winter high from December through March is about 2 degrees, with January and February being the coldest months. Houston's climate is classified as humid, subtropical, typical of the southern United States. The city experiences all 4 seasons and is rainy most of the year. Summers in Houston are long, very hot and humid. Temperatures in summer reach over 32 degrees almost daily. Houston has mild winters with occasional cold spells. In January, the normal mean temperature is at 12 degrees. Houston is not perfect. The summer weather is rough and it is more dense, and the temperature may keep on rising because science says so. In Houston, the weather is too hot and you'll need air conditioning 24/7 in your house. Plus, it doesn't feel good to go out in a summer's day. But in Chicago, it is comfortable. Yes, some days will be cold, but you can manage it just for a few weeks. Therefore, Chicago wins round 2. Round 3. Housing. Houston is cheap, whereas Chicago is expensive. In Houston, the median cost of buying a property costs $300,000, and to rent a 1-bed apartment in the city will cost $1,400 a month, whereas in Chicago, properties cost on average $500,000, and to rent a 1-bed apartment will cost over $2,000 a month, and the national average is $1,300, making Chicago an expensive place to live in. Houston is cheaper and you get more bang for your buck. Therefore, Houston wins round 3. Number 4. Chicago residents are subject to state and federal income taxes. The Illinois income tax is a flat tax with an individual income tax rate of 3.75% and a corporate income tax rate of 5.25%. Chicago has sales tax of at 10.25%. Houston has zero individual income tax rate. However, the sales tax rate for Houston of 2020 is 8.25%. This is the total of state, county, and city sales tax rates. As Houston is cheaper and has less tax, Houston wins round 4. We go to the final round. The score is 2-2. Round 5, lifestyle. The stereotypes of Texas and the South are true. People are polite, they say hello and chat for no reason. Charity is an important part of the culture and people are generous in ways big and small. This isn't normal in other parts of the US. Houston is now the most diverse city in North America, so if you like different cultures, there's no better place. Politically, Houston is more or less 50-50, split lefty and righty. New York and San Francisco have more 5-star restaurants and New Orleans is also good, but there's no place like Houston in terms of diversity and overall quality of restaurants. Whether you're looking for a barbecue, French or your typical Mexican, Houston is going to have several outstanding options to choose from. Public transit is almost non-existent and shocking in Houston. This means much of the city isn't easily accessible unless you can drive and sit in traffic for ages. However, Chicago has great public transportation. You can hop on a train and be anywhere in the city relatively quickly. It's not a perfect system, but it's reliable. One of the best symphonies in the world resides in Chicago. It has a great opera house and it has great concert venues. You don't have to drive to most of these venues if you live in the city. Public transportation is ubiquitous, quite good and affordable. Many of the streets have bike lanes. This means it is a bicycle friendly city. Chicago is an aesthetically beautiful city and Chicago has something for everyone. Therefore, Chicago wins round 5 and Chicago is the winner. Chicago wins. Houston is not bad, but not great. It has some nice areas. Restaurants and park, let's be honest, it's boring. It's a tough decision, but Chicago is better. I heard many people are leaving Chicago for Houston, but Chicago is a wonderful place to live in. And if you asked someone from England, would you want to move to Chicago or Houston, they'll almost likely say Chicago. Therefore, Chicago wins this contest. But if you're young and have no money and want to be more independent, then Houston could be perfect for you. However, Chicago has the glitz and glamour, its historical roots. The good bits and the dark side makes it very appealing. Therefore, Chicago wins this contest. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, pick your winner and tell me why you like living there. Remember to subscribe and get involved and comment below, and I will see you in another time.